Hello, this is Ronald with Indicator Vault, and in this video we're going to go over the Engulfing Setup Indicator. This is basically an indicator that will identify where engulfing candles form, and not just where they form, but as you can see over here, it will actually give out signals for you that you could take in the form of either buy stops or sell stops, depending on the setup that is formed. Obviously, it is not an EA where it will actually take the trades for you. It is just suggesting, potential trade ideas based off of the engulfing candle that forms. And so here in the settings, you can choose, basically what kind of engulfing candle you want, whether it's the entire range, whether it's just the body, including the wicks, and all these other settings here for the ratio from candle A to candle B, what it looks back on, and even adjusting the TP and SL settings. So plenty to work with here as far as, if you enjoy and find trading engulfing candles profitable for you, this would be a great indicator. So here I've got the British pound to New Zealand dollar chart, the daily chart. And as you can see here, it has spotted for us an engulfing candle. The setting I have this on is the range, where the body of candle, or the range of candle B, is greater than candle A. So as we can see, the wick clearly goes below it and this closes above it. Now, this indicator here has it in the form of a buy stop. And of course, as you can, suggested take profit areas. As you can see, this initial one is playing out well so far. It's just about to TP1, and you've got another one here that looks like it's wanting to creep up as well. Now, before I go too far, I also want to make note of how I like to look for these, as far as setups, as far as maybe even limit orders. If I don't take the buy stop, but with such a strong move up, it's now showing a bias that it wants to reach for higher prices. There's two things I will like to do for confluences with a fib. Is one, the classic use is just taking the range, anchoring it from this new range that the engulfing candle has made. You see it comes down, perfectly taps 61.8, and just about gets to the 70.5. But also, you don't even have to just take the range. You can just take the candle itself, the range of the engulfing candle. You can see comes just about to the 61.8. If you want to take a limit order there, you can see it continues up. But not only that, the engulfing candle range offers great standard deviations. As you can see how these are lining up great with the 1 and the 2 standard deviations of the candles. They offer great areas to take profit in. And again, you can, like most of these indicators with Indicator Vault, you have alerts that you can use where it can alert you on your desktop or your phone, through your MT4 of these candles setting up and forming. And so it, helps give a bias for where we want to look for trades. And you can see another one here. Candle B goes lower than candle A and above candle A. And so now it gives a, the latest one here is the buy stop with the stop loss below the engulfing candle. And again, you can mess around with the settings as far as take profits and stop losses that you want to do, but also add extra confluences as well. Like I said, potential limit orders with, the fib uses and different supply and demand candles that form. But we can see this one is, looks like it's going to want to reach for these TPs. Now here I've got the gold daily chart with the indicator on, and as we can see, this is a bearish example. The candle forms, and then it will give, the suggestion of a sell stop. And we can see it just about hit take profit a couple days ago. But another confluence, again, if you want to use maybe limit orders, or if you weren't comfortable with sell stops or buy stops, you can wait for this to come back into a range. As you can see, I have the bottom of this supply candle marked out. We can see it comes and touches it. And again, you can still keep the same SL of having it above the engulfing candle. And as you can see, there's another great reaction that may want to, continue down. But keeping this bias in mind, right? So we have the bearish engulfing candle, kind of giving us, a sell bias. And again, this works on multiple time frames. So here in the 1 hour, we have another setup that's almost identical to what we have on the daily. So again, another, sell idea that the indicator will give with some take profit levels. And we'll see how this plays out. This could come back up. As we can see, this is the white line from the supply candle, touches it, continues down. And if you want to refine it to smaller time frames, you can look for, re-entries, since we already have a higher time frame bias of it continuing down. All right, so now I have the British pound, Japanese yen chart, the M5 chart, and I wanted to just show what this looks like when, as we can see here, it's waiting for a signal. So there's not any current active trades that it is suggesting we get into. However, we can still see it will still leave a trail of what engulfing setups had happened. So for instance, we can see this candle here went below and above its previous candle. So it was telling us that this was a setup. If we took this, the buy stop would have been below. And look, it would have gone to TP1 and 2. And look at that, perfectly touched 3 standard deviations. So that would have been a suggested trade to get into. And then we could even look at the most recent one. So I zoom in. Just before this check mark is referencing this one, went above and below. And again, the setting is, you can change the setting, but this setting is where just the range is greater than the previous candle's range. You can use the bodies if you want, and there's several other settings. But for me personally, I just like to use the range. As you can see, it would have suggested a sell stop here. Easily went through TP1 and TP2, which is right now these settings would only suggest 2. You can change that if you'd like, but even so, easily went to 3 and 4 standard deviations of this engulfing candle. So it will still, like I said, leave a trail of marked engulfing candles that had formed. But with the indicator on, if there's no current ones, it will just say waiting for a signal. And the reason this is waiting for a signal is because the most recent engulfing candle already hit the take profit level. So there's nothing forming at the moment, but it can and will alert you of one setting up or forming, if that's what you would like in the settings. So I hope this was helpful, and until next time.